What's up, YouTube? TCG Battle / Collections here, and today I've got my first unboxing video. This unboxing is for the Future Card Buddyfight Trial Deck 4, Braves Explosion. This deck introduces Dungeon World, so hold on a sec, let me just open this up. So anyway, the deck comes with, of course, hold on a sec. It comes with the life counter. It goes up to, I think, 21, this one. Hold on. It goes up to 24 for this life counter. You'll know, I'm not really sure what the max for life points is. I'm not sure there's a max. Next comes the actual playmat. You know, the standard playmat that comes with any deck. Next, the starter guide gives you a bit of the manga to show you like how everything works for the game, etc. Next, we got the actual deck. So first we got let me just show you the shinies, the shiny cards. First off is like the box topper thing, the main card from the deck that's introduced, Legendary Warrior Gao. Stats are 425, pretty good stats, and it's a size 2 monster. Its call cost is pay to gauge. Put the top card of your deck into this card's soul. When this card is attacked, for this turn, nullify the attacking card's penetrate. And it's got Soul Guard. So yeah, this card can basically stop a penetrate if he's in the center. In the Dungeon World deck, which is one of the ideal monsters you'd like to have in your center. I'll probably save that later. Next, we got the main set spell of the deck, Mission Card from a Party. Sets, if you don't know, set spells are cards that stay out on the field until otherwise destroyed by effects. Let me just focus for a sec. There we go. If another card with mission in its card name is placed on your field, you gain 1 life. You search your deck for an adventure and put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck and put this card into the drop zone. So if you play another set spell, this card's destroyed, and you gain a life and add an adventure attribute card to your hand. Next, a shiny version of the impact card, Dead End Game. Its cast cost is kind of cheap, pay to gauge. And you may only cast this card if your opponent has 3 life or less, and if you have an adventure monster on your field, and if you have a weapon equipped. You deal 3 damage to your opponent, it can't be nullified or reduced. Basically a cheaper version of a Gargantuan Punisher. So next we're off to the grade 2s of the deck. We got 2 copies of this guy, which is Silver Warrior Quenzway, I think its name is. Its stats are 434, and it's a size 2. Its ability, when a link attacks with another adventurer for this turn, it gets Penetrate. You get 2 copies of these. Next, you get one more copy of Legendary Warrior Gao. So, if you ever get this deck and want to make Legendary Warrior Gao your buddy, you're gonna have to get at least maybe 1. You need 3 more copies, so you might need to get another copy of this trial deck. Anyway, same ability. Not going to explain it more than once. Let's see. You get 1, 2, 3 copies of the mover with stats of 425. And if you don't know move, it's when a monster's on the left or the right or center. And at the beginning of the attack phase, he moves. You can move it to anywhere you want. He's in the center. Let's say you have an item equipped. Let's say he's in the center. You have an item equipped. You can move him to the left or the right so you can attack with the item. Or when you're being attacked, you can move from the left to right to the center to block the attack for you. It's a good card. It's a really good card. Next, we got 2 copies of the size 2 monster Craftsman Baku. Stats are 423, pretty good stats. And when you link attacks with an adventurer, you get 1 gauge. Really good gauge getter. Next, you get 4 copies of a generic size 1 monster called Duchess Cobalt. 5,000 stats of 521. No abilities, but he's got pretty high power for a size 1 monster. That's what I like about about starter decks. They give you a good amount of cards with high power. Next, you got 1, 2, 3 copies of Master Thief Strawlbird. Stats are 422, size 1, no abilities. Pretty good for if you want for like a rush deck. Next, you got, I believe, 4 copies of Fledgling Warrior Ocker Glacier. I think that's what Ocker Glacier. Yeah, I think that's his name. Stats are 413. Size 1, not too good on the critical, but that makes up for his ability. When he link attacks with another adventurer, he gets penetrate. So basically like the size 2. So, okay, let's say you have both these guys out, and they link. Let's say you have both these guys out, and they link attack. Both their abilities activate to get penetrate, which means you can deal up to 4 damage with that link attack. So yeah, really good card. Next you get 2 copies of Sage Kuguru. Yeah, Kuguru. Stats are 222, size 1, and its ability when a link attacks with if you don't have a monster in your center, when this card link attacks with another adventurer, you gain 1 life. So basically it contributes to the open center strategy for a lot of decks, especially in Dungeon World. There are a lot of cards that need items. Not as much as some Dragon World or Hero World cards, but anyway, it's really good if you want to just keep getting life every single time you do a link attack. A lot of Dungeon World specifically has cards for link attacks. Next, the only size 0 in the deck, what's the name? Forgive me if I pronounce it wrong. Mame Shiba Cobalt. So basically size 0, the other Cobalt card, and you get 3 copies of it. Its stats are 1, 2, 2. Okay, 2 critical for a size 0. That's different. I haven't seen that yet. Really, so yeah, size 0s must have in any deck. Now we're moving on to the spells. 2 copies of Rolling Stone. Cast cost is pay 2 gauge. Its ability Giant Steel Ball. Put all soul from both players' center monsters into the drop zone and destroy both players' center monsters. So this is really good to take out any monster with a soul guard. That could really help. That really helps take care of a lot of newer monsters with soul guard, like Variable Chord, the new Star Dragon World card. I might need 2 more copies of that. And next, you get 2 copies of Oracle of Tuval. You may only cast this card if you have 5 life or less, and you discard your entire hand to draw 3 cards. You can only play this card once per turn. So this is like the Dungeon World version of Dragonic Grimoire. That's the name, Dragonic Grimoire. So basically, let's say this card's the last card in your hand. Send it to the drop, play it. You draw 3 more cards. Basically, like a whole new card that helps increase your hand, helps increase your options. So next you get 3 copies of Pillar of Fire. Pillar of Fire is a counter spell. You can only its cast cost pay 1 gauge, and let me focus a bit. Yes, here we go. You may only cast this card if you have no monster in your center, and you can destroy a monster with 6,000 or less defense. I just noticed this now, but a lot of these cards require you not to have any monsters in your center. A few of these cards only activate if you don't have a monster in your center. Now I kind of get why Dungeon World is one of the most played worlds in Buddyfight. It can be really fun to play with. Okay, next is another counter spell. You only cast this card when an opponent calls a size 2 or less monster. You rest that monster. So basically, if your opponent calls a size 2 monster, like let's say he plays Gao, you can play. Let me just move the camera. Let's see, he plays Gao. You can play this card, and it rests it automatically, so which means you won't be able to attack for the turn. It'll be a very useful card in your Dungeon World deck. It'll really help. Reduces the number of attacks your opponent can do for a turn. I like it. And next, we got 4 copies of the Dragon World of the Dungeon World copy of the Dragon World Nullify Divine Protection of Shalsana. Other than Green Dragon Shield, this card it has a cast cost, which is to pay 1 gauge. If you don't have a monster in you only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn. So basically, you don't need to have you can have a monster in your center and still play this card. And the counter, you get to nullify the attack and gain 1 life. So yeah, this basically, it's kind of worth it paying 1 gauge to nullify an attack, especially since it's not Green Dragon Shield. You can play it even if you have a monster in your center. And next 2 more copies of Mission Card Form a Party. I would explain this ability to you, so no need. Next is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 copies the other set spell in the deck, a mission card, defeat monsters. Its cast cost pay 1 gauge. When an opponent's monster is destroyed with your adventurer's attack, put the top card of your deck into the drop zone. No, into this card's soul face down. Sorry, got confused with the other card for a sec. Okay, now that's focused. When this card's soul becomes 2 or more, put this card into the drop zone and put all cards in this card's soul into your hand. Really useful. It can be a really useful card. You can get whatever cards you need from the cards that you put into the soul. Next, 3 copies of Conquering Blade Dungeon Domination. 5,000 power and 2 defense item. And it says equip cost. I don't know why, because it doesn't show any equip cost. So yeah, 3 of those. And I believe maybe 2. No, yeah, 2. 2 copies of the other item, Origin Blade Enemy Breaker. 3,000 power and 2 defense. So yeah, the items in this deck don't need any costs to play. Good power and critical for both of them. Next, you get 1 more copy of the impact card, so you only have 2 copies of the impact card in this deck. Dead End Crush, like I said before, grants you a Punisher copy, and last but not least, the Dungeon World flag for this deck. If you like this video, tell me, leave it in the comments below if you want me to do more videos like this, or if you have any options on whether I should, what to do to make this better, or what box openings or unboxings you'd like for me to do in the future. Leave it in the comments below, and thank you.